I was appointed onto the ANC's Constitutional Committee after the Kabwe ANC conference, at which a decision was taken to actually establish an ANC constitutional and legal department or unit. And I must say that around 1989 also there had been a conference on children, on the state of children in South Africa, which was held in Harare. On his return, OR was moved by what he had heard. And when we were ready then to return to South Africa in 1990, and that's before he had a stroke, he had a discussion with me and informed me to pay special attention to the situation of women and of children. I took it to heart when the ANC's Constitutional Committee set up at UWC. Children's rights was a priority for me, as well as advancing women's human rights. And our placement at UWCU was a decision of the ANC, in fact. We had a discussion about it as the ANC's Constitutional Committee, where we were informed that we, in fact, are going to be based at UWC. Immediately thereafter, we were introduced to Professor Renfrey, Nico Stedtler, on our arrival in Cape Town. The choice was deliberate, well considered, and we were informed so. And it was because you had great anti-apartheid ANC activists like Gerwel. You also had Professor Renfrey, and you had Nico Stedtler. And this was a great team, I must say. I think that had we not been based at UWC, we wouldn't have achieved as much as we did. Dr. Zola Skweyiya had to lead as the head of the ANC Constitutional Committee and convene us as the ANC's Constitutional Committee. He did so, and where Dullah had to give leadership as head of CLC, he also did so. CLC was an academic center, and so work that had to come out of there was to be respected even by Dullah's peers as head of the place. And thus it was important that whatever is done there must be worked at very honestly and very professionally. I got an assistant, a very able assistant, for the Children's Rights Program, Emmy Bill. She was a Fulbright student and had a beautiful personality, very close to Dullah. Unfortunately, it's her openness, her warmth. She went to the township when she didn't know much about the township, but she went with friends. She had friends across the color line. If that mattered in those days, didn't it? And It was very sad when she was killed. It was trauma. All her friends were taken aback. But the greatest lesson for many of us in South Africa who were touched by Amy's life and her passing was the generosity of her parents. You know, the forgiveness. I think there are lessons for us, you know, a country always strained by conflict. We had lots of seminars, you name it, on governance, on the character of the state, on the Bill of Rights, various aspects of the Bill of Rights, on women and children's rights, on environmental matters, on the economy. We still have pamphlets, you know, little booklets, not much research, but, you know, enabling research that form the basis for subsequent policy. Well, this is the nice one. I must talk to that one. What is a constitution? You see, this is what we distributed. We did this at CLC. And we did this to educate people. So we did, you see what we would do, then the ANC then owns it. Would do the work and the drafts and everything. And then when the NEC approves, then they take ownership of it. I think the most difficult one was around regions, around the policy on, remember we had 4 provinces and we were about to come out with 9 provinces, which we have today. It was not an easy one. I actually had the privilege of meeting some of your researchers, but I was very impressed that you have a lot coming from the continent. It is time for us to be where we belong. You know, we are part of Africa, and it's the right thing to do. After all these years we've been supported by our African brothers and sisters during the struggle against apartheid. It was difficult for some of us who had returned home after 30 years, I think, and conduct research and mobilize people when you in fact are new in the country. But Dullah was always available for advice, very helpful. Dullah is properly honored because he deserves to be acknowledged for his leadership in moving us forward. Dullah Omar Institute, a powerful name, a befitting honor to a great man. Thank you very much. Thank you for doing that.